Hey, you. Let's talk frankly for a second. Sometimes things in the bedroom, well, they don't quite go as planned. And
Yeah,
it's not always just physical, right?
exactly.
It's a really common frustration, but, not something people talk about much.
No, definitely not.
So today we're doing a deep dive into that often overlooked link between your mental state, your well-being, and physical performance for men.
That's right. And we've got a pretty interesting source. It's a YouTube video from Get Off the Meds called Mind Body Solutions for Men's Performance.
Okay.
And it really digs into how stress, anxiety, that feeling of just being overloaded mentally, how that can chip away at confidence and affect, well, erectile function.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
what I find interesting here is that it focuses on natural science-backed ways to deal with this, not just physical quick fixes.
Right. Moving beyond just the surface level.
So our mission today is basically to pull out the key takeaways, the
Yeah.
actionable stuff about this mind-body connection for men's performance.
Sounds good.
So maybe start with this. The video connects anxiety to libido and blood flow.
Hmm.
How exactly does our mental state, physically do that?
Well, it's actually a pretty direct physiological thing. When you feel anxious, your body goes into that sort of fight or flight mode, right? It releases stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline.
Usual suspects.
Yeah, the usual suspects.
Yeah.
And while that's useful sometimes, those hormones can constrict blood vessels, which you can imagine is not ideal for sexual function.
Right. Counterproductive.
Totally. And if that stress goes on for a while, it can mess with your overall hormone balance, potentially lowering libido, too. So it's a very clear, direct link.
Okay, that makes sense. The video also talks about a stress ED cycle. That sounds not good. Like a spiral.
It absolutely is. Think about it. Maybe you have one instance of a performance issue that naturally makes you anxious about it happening again.
Of course.
And that anxiety then triggers those physical stress responses we just talked about, constricted blood flow, et cetera, which makes another issue more likely.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it just feeds itself. The fear becomes part of the problem. It's a tough cycle to break.
Incredibly frustrating, I bet. But, okay, the good news is the source suggests ways out of this cycle. Natural ways. Stuff for anxiety, maybe even testosterone.
Absolutely. Yeah, the video really highlights several science-backed natural things you can do, like simple breath work, just techniques to calm your nervous system down, reduce that fight or flight.
Okay, like deep breathing.
Exactly, things like that. Then there are certain herbs and minerals like magnesium, which are mentioned for helping with anxiety and maybe supporting hormone balance.
Interesting.
And even something as basic as getting regular morning sunlight. Apparently that helps regulate your body clock, your circadian rhythm, which supports healthy testosterone.
I like that these are, accessible things, not super complicated.
Right, practical stuff.
The video also links overall lifestyle, like brain health, to bedroom performance. What's the connection there?
Well, it's kind of holistic, isn't it? Your brain runs the show for everything, including sexual response. So lifestyle habits that are good for your brain.
Like exercise, good food, sleep.
Precisely. Regular activity, nutrient-dense diet, enough quality sleep, all that stuff indirectly supports better performance and confidence because your whole system is just functioning better. When you feel good overall, mentally and physically.
Things tend to work better.
Exactly.
And that idea of rebuilding confidence without jumping straight to prescriptions, that feels pretty empowering, doesn't it?
It really does. The key point seems to be tackling the root causes, which are often psychological, right? Stress, anxiety.
Right.
So by using these natural methods to manage that, you're building, hopefully, a more solid, sustainable confidence, not just relying on a temporary fix.
So, okay, for anyone listening, if this resonates, the big takeaway seems to be performance issues aren't always just mechanical or physical. Your head plays a huge part.
A massive part, yeah. We've touched on those mind-body techniques like breath work, the lifestyle stuff, sleep, diet, and maybe some nutritional support like magnesium. All things highlighted in the source video.
And ultimately, this isn't just about sex, is it? The video seems to suggest it's broader.
Oh, definitely. It connects to managing stress better overall, building self-worth, feeling more, in control of yourself and your life, that sense of personal power.
Right. Addressing these things helps your whole quality of life.
That's the idea. It can have a really positive ripple effect.
So as you go about your day, maybe just think about that connection. What's one small natural step you could maybe try today? Something to manage stress a bit better, maybe boost that overall sense of confidence and performance?
Yeah, definitely food for thought.
It's a journey, for sure.
Yeah.
And maybe we can dig into some of those specific techniques, like the breath work or nutrition, a bit more in another deep dive.